Katy!
What?
Kesha just lit the match on her old feud with Katy Perry, and somehow Wendy's, the burger joint, jumped right into the drama too. Yeah, you read that right. A fast food chain is tangled up in pop star beef. Lately, people have been going off on Katy Perry after she hopped aboard a Blue Origin spaceflight. And let's be real, nobody expected this twist. In a year that's already been wild with celeb mess and viral chaos, this one came out of left field. A pop star feud getting stirred up again by none other than Wendy's. It all kicked off from what seemed like a playful post on Wendy's social media. But that little jab didn't stay cute for long. It spiraled fast, pulling in Katy, Kesha, and dragging up drama tied to one of the music industry's most hated producers, Dr. Luke. Yeah, this mess runs deep. Here's how it started. On April 14th, Katy Perry blasted off into space on a Blue Origin rocket. The mission was all about women empowerment. It was put together by Jeff Bezos' aerospace company and featured an all-female crew. Katy flew alongside journalist Gayle King, Bezos' fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, and a few other powerhouse women. The trip only lasted a few minutes, but it was live-streamed and hyped up like crazy. Now, while some folks thought it was inspiring, the internet didn't stay quiet. Right after Katy touched back down, Pop Crave posted an update about her cosmic adventure. And that's when Wendy's, yeah, the same Wendy's that dishes out shade like fries, jumped in with a sassy comment that sparked a whole new round of drama.
Katy!
What?
Do you have a message for your family in this moment?
It's okay. Yeah, no stress. I'm gonna be very emotional this weekend, of course.
Yeah, it's an emotional thing. It's a big journey.
It's huge. My message is that I love them. And
I can tell. You've got so much love in your heart, and I appreciate you sharing that with me, especially in this moment.
Wendy's really decided to stir the pot, and hard. Under the post about Katy's space return, the Wendy's Twitter account dropped just 5 shady little words. Can we send her back? Boom! That one line blew up the internet. Fans were shook. Some were laughing, some were straight up stunned. Like, who knew a burger joint would come for Katy Perry like that? Especially right after she did something that was supposed to be all about girl power. It was giving classic Twitter mess, like something straight out of the early 2000s and 10s, but with that 2020s savage energy. And just when people thought it couldn't get messier, Kesha stepped into the ring. Kesha didn't say a single word. She didn't have to. Not long after Wendy's fired off that shady tweet, Kesha popped up on Instagram with a slick move, an uncaptioned photo of her holding a Wendy's cup. That's right, just her, low-key smirking, sipping on that frosty shade like it was nothing. No caption, no explanation, just straight-up vibes. And fans? Oh, they got the message loud and clear. It wasn't some random fast food moment, this was personal. People who followed the tangled history between Kesha, Katy Perry, and that controversial producer they were both tied to knew exactly what that cup meant. This wasn't just about burgers anymore, it was a shot fired in a long-running pop war. Kesha's post wasn't just a cute selfie, it was a cold, calculated move. That Wendy's cup, it spoke volumes. It was a quiet clapback, a sly nod that screamed support for the shade Wendy's threw Katy's way. But to really catch all the layers in this mess, we gotta rewind and look at the history between these two pop stars. Back in the day, Kesha and Katy Perry were tight, like ride or die level. They both blew up around the same time in the late 2000s, early 2010, young, wild, and taking over the charts. Katy had her breakout moment with I Kissed a Girl, and guess what? Kesha even made a cameo in that track. They were both staples in the same Hollywood party circuit, hyping each other up while rising fast in the pop game. But then, everything changed in 2014. That's when Kesha filed a bombshell lawsuit against her longtime producer, Dr. Luke. She accused him of serious emotional abuse and misconduct. That move shook the whole industry. Fans launched the massive number Free Kesha movement, celebrities took sides, and legal drama took over her life for years. Dr. Luke clapped back with a defamation suit, and the case dragged on nearly a decade. It finally got settled in 2023, but the scars were deep, and Kesha's career took a major hit. Meanwhile, people were watching, wondering who would stand with her. And Katy? She stayed silent. Not a word of support. Then, in 2024, she stunned fans again, this time by revealing she'd teamed up with Dr. Luke for her next album. The internet went off. The backlash was brutal. Katy tried to explain her decision on Call Her Daddy, saying it was a personal choice. But not everyone was buying it, and the damage had already been done. Katy's interview didn't cool things off. It poured gasoline on the fire. Fans were already side-eyeing her for linking up with Dr. Luke, but hearing her try to defend it, that just made things worse. She said the collab was healing for her and claimed people didn't know the full story. But to many, it felt like a slap in the face, especially to those who stood with Kesha through her darkest days. Social media exploded. People dragged Katy's name all over X, TikTok, and IG. Some were furious, calling her tone deaf. Others were just disappointed, saying she should have known better. And the thing is, this wasn't just random backlash. It hit deep because it wasn't just about music anymore. It was about loyalty, truth, and trust.
I understand that it started a lot of conversations, and he was one of many collaborators that I collaborated with. But the reality is it comes from me. The truth is I wrote these songs from my experience of my whole life going through this metamorphosis. And he was one of the people to help facilitate all that, one of the writers, one of the producers. And I am speaking from my own experience. Like when I speak about Woman's World, I speak about feeling so empowered now as a mother, as a woman, giving birth, creating life, creating another set of organs, a brain, a heart. I created a whole ass heart and I did it and I'm still doing it and I'm still a matriarch and feeling really grounded in that. That's where I'm speaking from. Yeah. And so I created all of this with several different collaborators, people that I've collaborated with from the past.
While Katy tried to move forward with her new era, the internet wasn't ready to let it go. Every post, every promo, people kept bringing up Dr. Luke. The Kesha connection wouldn't fade, and that's why Kesha's Wendy's Cup hit so hard. It wasn't just petty shade. It was a reminder, a symbol, a quiet I see you in a world where silence can feel like betrayal. And now, the pop world's divided all over again. Lines are being drawn. Fans are picking sides, and every move Katy makes is being watched like a hawk. This isn't just celeb drama, it's a full-blown pop culture battlefield. Now, Kesha hasn't officially said a word about Katy's Dr. Luke collab, but let's be real, she doesn't need to. That one Instagram post said everything, and with fans dissecting every pixel of that photo, it's clear she knew exactly what she was doing. No caption, no problem. The message was loud and clear. Since then, Kesha's been out here minding her business, but with purpose. She's been dropping teasers for new music, showing up at events, and reminding everyone she's still standing. Stronger, smarter, unbothered. And that low-key confidence? People are eating it up. Meanwhile, Katy's been scrambling. Her team's pushing PR mode, trying to spin the narrative, but nothing's landing. Her space trip, which was supposed to be this empowering moment, is now completely overshadowed by fast food shade and pop beef flashbacks. You couldn't make this stuff up if you tried. And Wendy's? They've been sitting back, watching the chaos they helped spark, probably sipping a Frosty behind the scenes. That tweet might have been a joke, but the impact was real. It cracked open old drama and made people start asking questions all over again. Where does this leave us? Two pop stars with a long, messy past, one shady burger chain, and fans caught in the middle of a drama that's way bigger than anyone expected. Buckle up! This ride's far from over! And just when folks thought things might cool off, bam!
Kesha is so shady for this, y'all. She didn't just throw shade. She threw the entire tree at Katy Perry. I just want to know who's running this Wendy's account. I know the Katy Cats ain't gonna like this, but I'm on Kesha's side. Because you mean to tell me you went and worked with this man who did what he did to me on this song, and not just a song, the whole album, after you know what happened, and we used to be friends too? People be forgetting that friendship goes all the way back to the beginning of both of their music careers. I hate to say it, but sometimes when you do evil things, the clown comes back to bite. And that new album, 146 or 365 or whatever it's called, let's just say it plummeted from the charts faster than Katy Perry got dropped from the sky today. Too far? So yeah, Kesha said, baby, screw you and that man. And for me, it's the mischievous laugh in the photo. Kesha don't give a damn. And we will be streaming that.
A new layer of mess dropped. Digging deeper into the timeline, fans started resurfacing old interviews and tweets, connecting dots that had been ignored for years. People pointed out how Katy had distanced herself from Kesha way back, long before the lawsuits even hit the headlines. Some even claimed Katy knew more than she ever let on. The timeline started to look real messy, real fast. Old photos of them together started trending, captioned with questions like, "What really happened?" and "Was this friendship fake the whole time?" Fans weren't playing detective for fun. They wanted answers. And the music industry? Super quiet. Artists who once stood with Kesha suddenly had nothing to say. Labels stayed silent. Publicists were clearly on damage control. But online? It was a firestorm. Every thread had receipts, screen grabs, old lyrics. People were digging. Wendy's might have dropped the first spark, but now it was an all-out blaze. And Kesha? Still not saying a word. Just living her life, posting cryptic stuff here and there. Letting the internet do what it does best. Decode, expose, and stir. As this drama snowballs, one thing's clear. This ain't just about pop beef anymore. It's about loyalty, silence, and who stood by who when the world was watching. And right now, more people than ever are watching everything Katy does, waiting for the next slip-up. Now here's where things really hit a nerve. Katy dropped the teaser for her new single, produced by Dr. Luke. And guess what? The lyrics had fans fuming. It wasn't just the collab that rubbed people the wrong way. It was what she was saying. Lines about being misunderstood and making peace with the past had people calling her out for trying to rewrite the narrative. The comments were flooded with backlash. Fans weren't here for it. They said she was playing victim while teaming up with someone who represented the exact pain Kesha had gone through. One user wrote, "You're not misunderstood, you're just ignoring what matters." Oof. Meanwhile, music insiders started whispering that the rollout might be in trouble. Radio stations were reportedly hesitant, brand sponsors were reconsidering, and even some influencers stopped promoting Katy's content. That pop star shine? Starting to fade under the weight of controversy. But here's the kicker. Kesha's fans flipped the script and turned the whole thing into a viral moment. They started using Katy's new single hashtag to promote Kesha's older songs. Yep, turning her promo into free exposure for Kesha's music. Talk about poetic justice. So now, Katy's comeback is looking shaky. The PR spin isn't working, the fans aren't buying it, and the internet's turning her rollout into a meme fest. What was supposed to be a major return is now getting drowned in scandal. And Kesha, she's winning without saying a word. As the drama raged on, one thing became clear. Kesha was finally getting the public support she should have had years ago. People started re-watching her old interviews, sharing clips from her court battles, and flooding timelines with hashtag Justice for Kesha. It wasn't just about Katy anymore. It was about setting the record straight. Fans brought the receipts. They highlighted the media's treatment of Kesha back in the day, how she was painted as difficult or crazy while trying to escape a contract tied to her alleged abuser. Now, with fresh eyes, people saw it differently. They saw strength. They saw someone who had been fighting for her life and career, while others looked away. And the more people looked, the more they questioned everything. Why did so many stars stay silent back then? Why did labels protect Dr. Luke for so long? And how was he still getting major placements in 2024? Kesha didn't even have to lift a finger. The fans were doing all the work, creating threads, TikToks, edits, all painting her as the warrior she is. Meanwhile, Katy's team was stuck in panic mode, trying to clean up a mess that just kept growing. No matter what she said or posted, it only got worse. In a way, this whole thing became bigger than pop beef. It turned into a reckoning, a reminder that silence has consequences, that fake support can backfire, and that the internet doesn't forget, even if the industry tries to. And just when it felt like things couldn't spiral any further, boom, another twist dropped. A leaked clip started floating online, allegedly showing Katy in a backstage convo from earlier this year, saying she wasn't trying to take sides and hoped people could just move on. That clip? It hit hard. Fans were like, move on! After everything Kesha went through? The backlash reignited instantly. People were saying Katy was trying to play neutral in a situation where neutrality looked like betrayal. And that made the internet double down. More threads, more call-outs, more pressure. Kesha's name started trending again. But this time, not just for the past. Rumors started flying that she was cooking up a response track. No confirmation yet, but fans spotted her in the studio with producers known for bold, truth-telling anthems. If she dropped something, it could shatter the internet. Meanwhile, brands connected to Katy's rollout started backing off. Quietly, but noticeably. Campaigns were getting delayed, and partnerships that were hyped a week ago, gone silent. Even her label looked like it was holding its breath, waiting to see if this storm would ever pass. But the thing is, it's not just about one comment or one collab. It's about what people stand for now. The music industry's being forced to look at itself in the mirror, and fans aren't afraid to call out the hypocrisy. Kesha didn't just survive, she sparked a cultural reset. And if she drops a track next, Katy might not be ready for that kind of comeback. Katy tried to justify it all by saying doctor. Luke helped her through some creative metamorphosis. But let's be real, most fans weren't buying it. And clearly neither was Kesha. Katy gave a whole lot of nothing in that explanation. Vague, surface level, and totally ignoring the trauma Kesha had gone public with. Saying the music was just part of her personal journey came off like she was brushing off everything that had happened. So when Kesha popped up holding that Wendy's cup, yeah, it wasn't some random snack break. That was a message. It was her way of silently co-signing the public's outrage, subtle but sharp. It lined up with the energy from Wendy's shady tweet and called out Katy's tone-deaf move without ever saying a word. But even bigger than the fast food drama, Kesha's post brought the spotlight back to something important: accountability in the music biz. Who gets protected, who gets silenced, and why some artists still choose to work with controversial names like Dr. Luke, knowing the history. Kesha's been on a mission to take her power back, and she's not playing around. Her new album's dropping on Independence Day. You know that's no coincidence. And her 2025 tour is all about freedom, healing, and rising stronger. That little Wendy's moment, it wasn't petty. It was a statement. Fans are calling it one of the most iconic clapbacks of the year. Quiet, classy, and cutthroat. A silent sip that said everything. But hey, what do you think? Was Kesha's move a power play or just low-key shade? And did Wendy's take it too far? Or were they just calling it like they see it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next wild twist in pop culture chaos.